Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope all of you are doing well. So, this is going to be a thrift store haul. I went to a couple of thrift stores yesterday, as well as the retro game store that we have in the town I live in called the Save Room. Picked up a pretty decent stack of films, a lot of personal favorites, some really interesting ones, or at least one that seems interesting. I just haven't really been coming across any Blu-rays, and if I do, it's really just either titles I already have or just titles I don't really care for. So I'm just mainly focusing on DVDs, which is okay. It happens, and down the road, eventually I will upgrade, but for the time being, I don't mind picking up films I don't have that I want to watch. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First and foremost, a lot of these cases are like dirty. They definitely need to be replaced for sure. But first one here we have is Few Good Men. This is a really good movie. I saw this for the first time a couple of years ago and really enjoyed it. I don't know why it took me so long to watch this movie, but man, the performance from everybody, especially Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, is fantastic. That scene in the courtroom where he's asking him, "Were you the one that were you the one that commanded the order?" "You damn right I did." And then, "I want the truth." "You can't handle the truth." That just, that's one of the quotes, one of the most popular movie quotes of all time that we've heard. But finally watching that performance, definitely intense, and just the performance from everybody is fantastic. The artwork's not in the best shape. It does have some, water damage, but that's okay. But yeah, Demi Moore's in it. Kevin Pollak is in it. I mean, there's just a really great cast. So glad to pick that one up and add it to the collection. The next one here is the extended cut of The Punisher with Thomas Jane and John Travolta. I like this one as well as Punisher Warzone. The Punisher is one of my favorite Marvel characters, so any variant that we have had, I've always enjoyed. And my Blu-ray copy I had wasn't in the best shape. It was having issues because there were scratches on it, so I decided to just toss that out and just, if I came across the DVD, I would pick it up, and I'm glad I did. I love this artwork. I prefer this over any other artwork that's been released for it, so that definitely awesome. There's some special features. You get a Punisher comic book gallery, and then you get some animated, like, deleted scenes, which is pretty cool. And then you get an extended version of the film, which is like an additional 17 minutes, which is not bad at all. So yeah, very, very happy to get that one. Picked up a Kevin Smith classic. Picked up Clerks. I did not have this. I'm surprised this movie hasn't been released under the Criterion collection for a 4K release. I don't quote me on this, but I think at one point this was released on the Criterion label. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong. Way back in the early days of DVDs, where I might be thinking of a different movie, but I know this one has had a re-release. There's that cool, like, Clerks X release, which has tons of bonus features and things like that. So very happy to finally pick that up. I am a fan of Kevin Smith, probably one of my favorite directors, alongside guys like Tim Burton and Terry Gilliam and John Waters. Next is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So this is basically replacing the rental copy that I have, because the rental copy is not in the best shape. So I decided to just find a better copy for the time being. So great movie. I think I did a review for it on the channel. So yeah, definitely check it out. Jay and Silent Bob are probably the most iconic duo from Kevin Smith, or just in movies in general. I really, really want to see a crossover film with Jay and Silent Bob and Cheech and Chong. Maybe them meeting, Beavis and Butthead in some way. It could be an animated film for all I care, but I think it would be cool to do. Next is Dazed and Confused. I've been on well, I wouldn't say a kick, but I've been wanting to revisit some like stoner comedies. So this is one of them. I guess in a way you can say it's a stoner comedy. Um, but a great cast. Mila Jovovich. Who else is in this? Matthew McConaughey, Parker Posey, Ben Affleck. I mean, the list of actors in this movie is fantastic. So, eventually, I'd like to get the Criterion release. This next one here is getting a 4K release from, I believe, Umbrella. I definitely want to get that there. So, two things I've missed out when it came to Blu-rays: Freaked and Dogma, and those Blu-rays they're out the butt when it comes to prices because they went out of print, and now they are finally getting re-released on this time on the 4K format. So I don't want to miss out this time, so I'm like doing a bunch of reward apps as I'm listing as much as I can on eBay. I don't want to miss out on those because those are my favorite films. I do have the DVD of Freaked. I have the Australian release because it was actually affordable. Not like the American DVD release, which is like a 2-disc set. I think that's out of print as well. So I've just, I had bought that just for the time being until, eventually a Blu-ray would get re-released, and then not too long after I bought that, it would be announced that eventually it would be coming to 4K. So yeah, I'm creating this wish list of movies I want to add, and a lot of it is stuff that's getting put back into print that at one point was out of print, like Free Willy, Sleepaway Camp 2, Sleepaway Camp 3. Rocky Horror is coming to 4K, so I want to upgrade my Blu-ray. Catch Me If You Can is coming to 4K, so there's just so many great movies coming out. So put my focus on eBay to help increase my sales, build up my store, and that way I can start upgrading a lot. But I picked up Dogma. Love this movie. I would say out of all the Kevin Smith films, I would say this is my all-time favorite. Great cast. I mean, you've got the likes of Jason Lee, Chris Rock, Alan Rickman, Selma Hayek, Linda Ferrantino. I mean, just the list of actors is fantastic, and I can't wait to eventually get the 4K and see how great and amazing this looks, because I know it's going to. So, very happy with that. The disc's not in the best shape, but I'm able to get it cleaned up a little bit. Next is Click, a great Adam Sandler film, probably one of my favorites, alongside, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Little Nicky. Christopher Walken is fantastic. You got Henry Winkler, you got the actress who voices Marge Simpson. You have Sean Astin, David Hasselhoff, who's just such a douche in this, but it's absolutely hilarious. Kate Beckinsale, Jennifer Coolidge. I mean, the cast is fantastic. And there's also, I don't know if his name's gonna be on here. No. The neighbor, the kid neighbor, O'Doyle, whatever. I'm not sure what the first name is, but his, there's this long running, I guess, joke in Sandler's films where there's a character who's O'Doyle, and they always, O'Doyle rules, type of thing. I don't know where that came from when it comes to his movies, but the actor who plays the kid, his next door neighbor, who, kind of bullies Sandler's character's kid, he would eventually go on to do Shameless, Gotham. You guys know who I'm talking about. But yeah, that is him back in the early days of his acting career. So really cool to find that out. Next is Joe Dirt. Love this movie. Joe Dirt it's hilarious. I love David Spade. I'm more of like, don't get me wrong. So when it comes to the SNL cast, I like Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell, Molly Shannon, Sherry O'Terry, Jimmy Fallon, Amy Poehler, and even some of the cast today. But I grew up in the 90s, so my favorite SNL cast is Kevin Nealon, David Spade, Mike Myers, Phil Hartman, Adam Sandler, Tim Meadows. I follow these guys' careers, Dana Carvey. So anytime I can come across the movies that they have done, I will always pick them up because they were part of my childhood. SNL in the 90s during that time when they were the cast members were just, it was absolutely hilarious. And I would watch some old like reruns of before them, like Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy and Chevy Chase, which I became a Eddie Murphy and a Dan Aykroyd fan. So yeah, gotta gotta support in my opinion, some OG cast members, or like some of the early careers or early film. Man, I can't even speak or think. I'm still tired. It's just nice to support those, that I would consider in a way OGs when it came to SNL, and Joe Dirt's fun. The second movie I like, it's not as good, but I do enjoy it. Next is Planet of the Apes. This is the remake by Tim Burton. I really like this movie. Saw it in theaters when it came out. Me and my dad went to go see it. And by all means, it's not perfect, but I do like the direction that Tim Burton went, and I like the cast. I mean, you have the likes of Paul Giamatti, Michael Clark Duncan, Helen Bohan Carter, Mark Wahlberg. Who else is in this? Chris Christopherson. Yeah, so really glad to get that. I'm trying to complete all of the Tim Burton films. I'm still missing a lot. I want to eventually get all of them on Blu-ray, and then whatever's on 4K, get those so I can do a director spotlight, because I do want to do those. That was brought to my attention. So right now I'm just in the process of just, if I can make enough sales, then I could slowly start picking up the filmography so I can start, those director spotlights. And I'm sorry for the shaky cam. So now we're going to move on to the next stack. First we have Snatch. This is the Super Bit Deluxe. I don't know what other films were released under this Super Bit Deluxe label, but I definitely need to see if there's any that are in my collection. But this one's a 2-disc set, so I don't know if all of them are 2 discs. But yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. I've never seen it, but I've heard good things. And with the cast, I mean, you have Brad Pitt, Jason Statham. You know what I mean? Jason Statham is probably one of the easiest actors to impersonate or do like a an impression of, because I remember watching a video and someone was like, certain things he says, he just says it as one sentence. So you know what I mean. He's more of no mean, So it's like it was pretty easy to mimic who I was watching to do that. And then you have Vinnie Jones, who's one of my favorite English actors. And then you have Benicio del Toro, who's another actor I like. Vinnie Jones is fantastic in Eurotrip. If you guys have seen Eurotrip, his character is pretty hilarious in that. Another Adam Sandler flick, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. Saw this in theaters. Really enjoyed it. Great cast. I think the story is kind of goofy, but you also kind of feel for it too, because he's mainly doing it because if something was to happen to him, because he's a firefighter, his kids wouldn't be protected like he wants them to be, financially and things like that. So I get what he's trying to do, but it is goofy. But Rob Schneider is fantastic. I mean, that whole, I now pronounce you husband and husband. You now can kiss the husband. It's fantastic. I like when Sandler brings some of his friends onto his movies, because some of them will stand out. Like, Rob Schneider stands out in Big Daddy as the delivery guy, which is pretty hilarious. Another Kevin Smith film, Chasing Amy. This is the Criterion release. I do want to get a clear case to put this in, kind of match how Criterions are today. But I'm surprised here's what I'm thinking. So, what is that movie? Oh my god, Spinal Tap. So you guys know I had picked up Spinal Tap on Blu-ray. Not too long after I bought that, it was announced that Spinal Tap is coming to 4K under the Criterion label. It was released under the Criterion label way back in the early days of DVDs, and now it's finally back, back home is what I like to call it. So I think what's going to eventually happen is I think they are going to start getting a lot of the films they had at one point in their library that just never got brought back. So like RoboCop, I wouldn't be surprised if RoboCop finds its way back into the Criterion, under the Criterion label. And Chasing Amy is another one. I would not be surprised. I would like to see Chasing Amy be brought back into the Criterion label, under the Criterion label in a 4K of all things. So if Spinal Tap can do it, Chasing Amy can do it. Picked up Beyond Justice. This is a Rucker Hauer or something like that. I'm sure I'm butchering his name. Looks like a really interesting action film. I'm sure the quality is not going to be the greatest. It's this Front Row Features, Front Row Entertainment release, and they're not usually the greatest, but I'll give it a shot. Next is Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I know there's a Criterion release for this. I had this at one point in my collection, but the copy wasn't the greatest, so definitely decided to get a better copy. Picked up the Stallone film Cliffhanger. I want to get all of Stallone's movies because there are a lot that I do enjoy. Mostly just a lot of his early stuff, 80s, 90s. And Cliffhanger is one of those movies I have always enjoyed. Michael Rooker's in this as well. Who else is in this? I mean, there's a few other recognizable faces. The artwork's not in the best shape. Like the back has water damage, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not expecting it to be 100% in the best shape. Picked up the Steven Seagal film The Patriot. Looked interesting. I don't have any Seagal films in my collection. I've been trying to get a lot of these like late 80s, early 90s martial art action films from like Van Damme, Lundgren, Seagal. So that's what I've been trying to do, and there's a lot of movies that I've missed out on that I've never seen. So the Ginger Snap films, the Prophecy films, what else? There's a few other ones that I like at the top of my brain I can't think of, but there's just so many I haven't seen. So I'm trying to pick some of them up if I can, like Deep Rising with Treat Williams I've never seen, but I definitely want to add that because I've seen clips on YouTube and it looks fantastic. Picked up thebrainiacs.com. This is one of those feature films for family releases. These have, like, this label. This label I don't think is around anymore, but this label has some really great gems in it because they have at least two from, I remember watching back in the day. Just Like Dad, which had the one dude from The Princess Bride. He's also the voice of, I believe he's the voice of the dinosaur in Toy Story. I can't think of his name, but in the film Just Like Dad, his son is kind of embarrassed of him, so the kid hires this guy at the gym to be his dad so these kids will stop bullying him. I remember the movie actually airing on ABC, I think, at one point, and then because ABC is owned by Disney would take a lot of those movies and air them on the Disney Channel, so I remember that one always going to that. And then they got Gunther and the Paper Brigade, which is pretty cool, which hasn't had a re-release, and it's one of the most sought after movies from this feature films for family label. So yeah, very happy to pick that one up. It's got Dom DeLuise in it. Then the last three I picked up at the local game store. This one I paid $2 for. It's the Iron Monkey 2 or Iron Monkey 2 with Donnie Yen. Don't know too much about it. I'll end up picking up the first movie before I watch this. So, and I will see if there's a Blu-ray for it. Then I picked up Spies Like Us with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. I had never seen this, but I've heard some good things, so I am excited to check this out. So, and look at that face from Dan Aykroyd. Gotta love it. So, and then the last one here was a really cool find. This is a Jesse Ventura film, and I'm sure I'm gonna butcher this. Abraxas, Guardians of the Universe. I don't know, but the fact that it's got Jesse Ventura in it, you can't go wrong. And Jim Belushi's in it. It says basically in the back, it says, in a faraway galaxy, a legion of supermen has been developed to police the universe. These men have been altered with radiation and ozone layering to become virtually invincible. They are known as Finders, and they have all taken a sacred vow of protection. They have vowed to defend all life and to put no relationship before their obligation as Finders. Finders see too much. They live too long. Occasionally one goes renegade. Before they can multiply, they must be destroyed, and only one man has the power to destroy them. Abraxas. Sounds great, so I'm excited. I can't wait to check that one out. So there you have it. Those are my pickups. Not bad. Some pretty great films. A nice wide range of different genres. So if you've seen any of these movies, let me know what your thoughts are. I would love to hear your guys' opinion on these movies. If you enjoyed my thrift store haul or physical media haul or collection of it, whatever you want to call it, I appreciate it, and definitely give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you guys would like to check out my eBay store, the awesome things we love, man, I'm way too tired. I'll put the link down in the description below. I'm also accepting paid requests. It's $1 a video. I will put my email to PayPal down in the description. Do friends and family, so that way there are no fees. You can request movie review, album review, reaction videos, reaction to music videos, thoughts on videos, current events, things like that. So that might be something you're interested in. Again, the link, my email for PayPal will be down in the description. And like I said, it's $1 a video, so it's not too expensive. And yeah, so if that's something you're interested in, definitely do so. And if you want to check out my eBay store, like I said, the link will be down in the description below as well. So thank you guys so much. I'm Film Talk with Mikey, and until next time, guys, we'll talk films. Have a good one. Take care. See you next time, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.